was the game that actually it did something?
With the gunship? That was Prime 3.
Was it Prime 3?
Yeah. It was Aqua Saxon.
You're gonna say what game was it that lets you use your lets you use your gunship Gradius?
Now there is a detriment to this game that I will call it out on. Normally, this game teaches you that important creature entries are red squares.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are some of them that are orange, which confused me, especially in older playthroughs.
No, I thought all the creatures were important, but the red squares were for data and item
But then
entries.
you also have your gun. Your gunship's red. And that's not a log entry.
Yeah, see, they're bright orange, and then when you see how it dims, that means you've already scanned it.
Yeah.
But as long as it's bright orange and it's a creature, it's important.
It is like one thing that Prime 2 it greatly improved on was the scan visor, because now instead of like orange squares or red squares, the entire thing is highlighted in a color.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's really obvious what can be scanned, what cannot be scanned, what's important anyway. I should stress.
Plus another thing is the load time.
In terms of like doors and all that.
No, in terms of like when you're scanning something, you see the load. It takes a a little bit to like
just so that it's not like click and you have it. You have to
sort
of scan it for a second or two.
Man, this looks great.
Prime is
it still looks great.
Prime is
unbelievable.
The other thing I want to commend.
But the
Prime,
thing is, I'm sorry, I'll let you finish. You were saying?
The other thing I want to commend Prime for is its soundtrack.
Yes.
Its soundtrack is like fantastic.
It is the perfect blend to me of herbs and spices for a delicious, crunchy flavor. It is
Kentucky Fried Metroids.
Kentucky Fried Metroids. It is I forgot. I got the hint visor.
This is the reason I eat solid ramen.
All right, let me take care of these guys real quick. So this is the hint visor system. You can turn this off if you played this game millions of times before, but I'll keep it on for the sake of a let's play. Basically, this is just how you're there to keep you on track. Because the game is about as open world as, say, a Super Metroid, where you're not given much to where to go. You just have to find it yourself. But they do give you the hint visor.
Yeah. Well, they do a good job of limiting what you can do without using something like a glitch.
It will tell you your destination, but it will not tell you how to get there.
Yeah. If you see that there's, you just saw on the map there that it was you're here and that's there, but there could be a crazy roundabout way to get there.
So these are some of the most important things we have to scan in this entire game. These are Chozo lores. This is pretty much how we're getting backstory on the Chozo race that's in Talon 4 and Talon 4 in general.
As well as Samus, right?
As well. In a sense.
Because I remember Chozo's like Samus's adoptive parents, which is going to be kind of weird for her to readjust to human society.
Basically, this one just sums up that the Chozo race had pretty much inhabited Talon 4 to make their own, pretty much like they did with Planet Zebeth.
Hi, I'm Adam, and you are Samus.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, I thought it was Zebus.
Zebus.
Well, Zebeth is NES. It's Zebeth in NES.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things about the NES games we forget.
Yeah, purple, green hair, purple leotard.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
There was a cosplayer at MagFest last year.
That was amazing.
That
we got a picture of that.
Yeah.
I feel like now we should do No Man's Sky.
I'm just going to ignore you because there's no benefit in killing. Oh, wait, you hit me now. Now I have to kill you.
Right. We were all good to go.
Dude, until Dickhead here had to nibble at my kneecaps.
It's the equivalent of not getting into a fight, and when the big guy walks away, you yell, "You better run!"
Essentially,
it's like
you hear him say under his breath, "Little bitch."
You screwed it up now.
Dickheads right here. You want to talk about a run killer in terms of if you're low on this health, because these guys right here they explode on contact, and there's like 50 of them right there. They each do about 2 points of damage. Do the math.
100.
Yes. If you run into all of them like a dunce. Don't run into all of them like a dunce. Shoot them all down. They're not bothering anybody except you when you're running.
Yeah, I feel like we should play No Man's Sky sometime soon.
You can do that. No interest.
Yeah, I had zero interest in that game.
I want to play it.
Like, it's literally just space exploration. That's it.
Which sounds kind of cool until you realize that it's a little boring after a while.
What's the end game? Is it like Minecraft?
The story is that there is that thing on the cover.
Yeah.
Is like it's traveling to the center of the universe, and you can try and follow it.
But you have to go through literally 18 quintillion planets.
Which is just that's as many guns as in Borderlands, isn't it?
I wouldn't know. I never played Borderlands.
Wasps. They always spawn from these hives over here. You can't get rid of them now because we don't have charge beam or missiles, but soon.
That's the only way you could get rid of them?
They will infinitely respawn until you get rid of the hive.
Oh, I thought you could charge beam.
You can charge beam.
You can totally charge beam them, but Johnny doesn't have the charge beam.
No, I did not scan the save when I was in the parachute.
Yeah, I was gonna.
But luckily, we have more than enough.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna run into a couple of those.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna run into like 5 of them, maybe.
99%.
6 if we're lucky.
99%.
It's
If
all
I
fix-
scam phase 2 of Prime and it's not 100%, I'm going to choke you.
99.
And I'm going to kick Elliot in the gonads.
Why?
99.
Can't you just kick Elliot in the
percent.
gonads and choke?
No, that'd be too easy.
Jesus Christ.
So, well, I'll go as the probably the biggest or second biggest Metroid fan. on this couch. I mean, did you get Prime day one?
Day one, I was saving up for it. I worked at the game store at the time.
Yeah.
And I was saving up for it. I got this Fusion and the cable to link it to the GameCube all at the same time. Unboxed everything and played it at the store. So we did the Fusion suit and we played all the way through it, and it was just I remember being there because there was a couple other fans of Metroid, and we were all sort of the same thing where it was everybody's doing this first person thing and we're just not sure that it's what we want to see. And we played it and it was okay. This is the right choice. This was the right thing to do, and just it was unlike, we had a problem with first-person games, and I still kind of have the problem today where they focus so heavily on multiplayer. If it's a first-person game, it's going to have multiplayer. It's going to have a fleshed-out multiplayer, and the single player oftentimes feels tacked on. So this game, it became very apparent very quickly that the point of this game is single player. I mean, obviously, it's a single-player game.
It's not a first-person shooter.
It's not a first-person shooter. Yeah, this is a first-person adventure game. There are puzzles to solve. There's exploration to be had. There's a storyline
shooters can
that's
also give you that as well.
Nowadays, we get more of them, but back then,
No,
we were getting
Bioshock had a few of them, I think.
a few. But like, what would you claim to be high adventure back in 2002? High adventure for your first-person games.
Good point. The only thing that comes to mind immediately, ironically enough, is Halo of all things, but even then I'm probably wrong.
And yeah, well, Halo had a decent adventure. That was one of the few examples where we could say, okay, somebody's able to do it right. But back then it was Doom, and Doom was Doom and Wolfenstein were it's okay. Quake was. I'm not even aware if Quake had a first person, a single player story. To be honest, the most adventuresome single-player mode game I played was it's called Killing Time for the 3DO, and it was a single-player, so it was fully fleshed-out adventure. I would like to see a remake of that game because that game had a very cool story, and it was just very interesting to me.
Who published Killing Time, though?
It might have been 3DO. It might have been like 3DO Studios or whoever.
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, but that was a cool game. It had a cool storyline, very interesting, very atmospheric. That was a very, very you were on this one of those wealthy people islands where it was like the mansion and the island and that's it. And everyone had disappeared some time ago, so you came to investigate. So there was nothing there. But as you start walking, you hear something, and when you go to check it out, it's the spirit of the woman who owned the place. And she's asking you to help. And then as you go through the game, you'll hear these ghosts, and you'll see the ghosts, and they're playing out scenarios that happen, so they're giving you clues as to where certain things are, the storyline for what happened. Like, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's from Studio 3DO.
Studio 3DO. Very, very cool game. I know they were supposed to remake it maybe a few years after it came out, I think for PlayStation with better graphics and all, and it just never happened. If you own the PlayStation 1 game Psychic Force, for some odd reason, I think it was Psychic Force that I remember, inside on the back of the manual had a few logos for games that were coming out, and Killing Time was one of them.
I have Psychic
But it
Force
never
2012 for the Dreamcast.
Psychic Force 2012. Yeah, there you go.
I had that for the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Yeah, mediocre game. Not too bad.
I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't winning any awards, but you were having a good time with it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it's like more of a mini boss. That was the Hive Mecha. And as you can see, motion controls, it's a little finicky to fight, honestly, because, again, you have the lock on, but you still have to actively point at the bees. And I was having a bit of trouble there. Not the best Hive.
Those were wasps.
Huh? No. I was talking about more of the machine, the contraption.
Oh, okay.
But just you said bees in there.
You did say
Oh,
bees.
They're technically
Well, they
wasps.
wing. Do they have wings?
No,
And
we're not on planet Earth. They could be
Wasps.
bees, and they could very well be bees that were killer.
Wheeze. They're all wheeze.
Wheeze, booze,
Well, that's
Wasps.
appropriate given the system.
wasps.
Wasps. I dubbed the wasps.
Because I hate confrontation.
Yeah. I really don't want to have this argument right now.
It's not an argument. It's a discussion. An energetic one.
Bullshit.
Well, you want to discuss it?
No.
You
Y'all
want,
discuss it. Your opinions are shit. They're fucking shit.
How do you get rid of Hive?
you want to discuss
There you
this
go.
in the
There we go.
You want to
more
discuss
bees.
this in the back?
Oh, that sounds weird.
Yeah, that is. Shut me right up.
How many times do I have to say it? Not that kind of uncle.
Oh, let's scan these blast caps real quick.
Mushrooms?
Now we're on the way over here. Oh, look.
But
Did
you
I
didn't-
see a red square over there?
Oh,
Yeah. That's it. Ooh, it's a brimstone wall. Brimstone is susceptible to missiles. Shoot.
Brimstone, breakable.
Yes. Yeah, anything highlighted in red, you can probably break with something in your arsenal. Brimstone, Bendesium,
Hey,
And
missiles.
cordite.
Bendesium.
Bendesium.
And cordite. Yes, cordite's for super missiles, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Bendesium is
Power
power
bombs.
bombs.
by the way, these are missile doors. They're not red like in regular Metroid games. They are something you need to scan too.
Did you already scan it?
Well, yeah, I did it earlier.
Okay.
I still find it absolutely silly that they have missile block doorways like key cards.
Like who
Like
locked them?
we're four Metroid games and that still doesn't sit right with me.
Like who locked them that way?
Some general that's
Yeah.
trigger happy.
Given that I'm not like, could you imagine if the U.S. military used that and said, "Hey, let's lock this door, and you need a bazooka to open it."
Hey, let's piss away more of the funding that should be going towards schools and whatnot. And naturally, they
this
all
lock
agree.
there.
This
Can't
door
do
is
it.
locked.
Hillary held out until she found out which one was going to win the vote.
This door is locked by bazooka.
I mean,
I must claim.
I mean, the
bazooka.
doors the doors here are pretty much different from your standard Metroid game because
You don't have to keep it.
those only took one missile.
Yeah.
Well, they changed that. I think it was the
Starting
first
with,
Metroid was the only one that had that, right?
No, first Metroid had 5, Super Metroid had 5, Fusion, well, Fusion you didn't use missiles to open doors at all.
Yeah,
Unless
yeah.
it was an eye door. Yeah,
So
starting
that
with-
still technically counts,
starting
though.
with Prime,
That still counts as a
it
missile
was,
door.
yeah, I would say. Starting with Prime, 1 missile per door, because even Zero Mission only required
Yeah.
1 missile to open a red door.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't got time for this shit. Let's go.
Fuck this.
Don't
We
run
got
into the
missiles, so
Giants.
now we can go to the second room that was over here that was blocked by a missile door. So we're going to head over there now because I think it's time for us to get a Morph Ball.
Oh, Morph Ball.
And then we're actually going to backtrack back to the Hive Totem because we have to go back and get the items that we missed. You notice that I was staring at a Morph Ball hole there that
Yeah.
I couldn't
Morph
access.
Ball hole?
Morph
Oh.
Ball hole, yeah.
This here's my ball hole.
Yeah.
That's super personal.
Ooh, the Glory Ball.
That's personal prime.
Yeah, Glory Ball. There you did.
Prime time.
Yeah. It's prime time.
No, you had to play Freddy Krueger. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Oh, look, an item. Let's see if we can just grab it.
no.
There's got to be something there.
Because Arena.
The gods are testing me.
With bugs.
With well,
The are you worthy of being a true Chozo?
are you a bad enough dude to risk it?
You, you've got to.
Do you have the balls to be a ball?
You've got to pass the testy if you want a ball.
I got nothing.
Do you note that after this puzzle, Chozo Greg was no longer able to create the tasks necessary.
I can just imagine him like, I'm not that kind of Chozo.
There we go. Not that kind of Chozo.
Oh, we're never done.
I was saving my missiles for a
Super
reason.
bug.
This guy right here, yeah, pretty much the father of these bug
Boy.
type creatures.
Boy, where could its weak spot possibly be?
I don't
Don't
know.
hit me
I
on the
can't
fuck me
imagine.
ledge.
Clearly, it's the third horn from the left.
Okay, so this is the battle that really wants you to use the dash trick. Unfortunately, in the trilogy version, I feel it's a little borked. It doesn't always work from what I've experienced. Basically, when you're locked onto an enemy, you can tap right and the jump button, and I can't explain it.
It's
to you
just
different ways.
re-aiming.
Yeah. You tap the jump button right on the analog stick to do a quick dash. It's how you get behind enemies.
But with this one, since since what you've been saying is that the Weavers is a little finicky with it.
What?
You give me really
How
bad
did that
stuff
one
to
not
do.
hit
How
it?
about you? Come on.
You
Dash
really
to the left,
ruffled
slide
my
to the left.
gymnast.
Hey, motherfucker.
Yeah, you just can't get too. If it gets too far away from you, that's the problem.
Shoot the missile as soon as you dash.
No, you can use
Because
the
your
charge.
missiles do have homing properties.
You
Should
can
be set.
you can use the charge beam too, right?
I don't have charge yet.
You blew his ass away.
Yeah. That girl really rocked my ass.
That's wow. The Space Hunter really took it to Uranus.
Which is next on my plans to blow up hit list.
That's got to be very painful.
Yeah, it's just a ball of energy.
Oh, it's interesting that the ball is bigger than it normally is in relation to her.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
just
it
not
loo-
really contorting.
Yeah, it looks a little more like she's just getting into a ball. Like I imagine she's at the fetal position inside the ball.
Yeah.
Which I could get behind. That's honestly a lot more preferable than, no, this woman actually just did completely do that.
Yeah, like she's very, very tiny and transformed. Like that looks more like, you know what it looks like? It looks
Very,
like
very tiny, like what, she's in a hamster ball?
Yeah, like this. I'm gonna attempt to do some. I'm gonna attempt to throw some lore to talk about how it actually works.
You're going to attempt to throw a lure?
Yeah. I'm going to say that the armor comes apart, reforms into the ball in which she's in the fetal position, but surrounds her in an energy field, so she's not actually rolling head over heels as she rolls around. She is stasis, like steady inside the ball. There we go.